What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Creatine, and like 2 weeks ago, I took a poll as to what stories you guys wanted me to tell, and this is the only story I haven't told yet, so enough of me talking, let's just get into the video. So, this story is actually a pretty old one. It's back from when I had just started 8th grade, and I think like a week before the actual story had taken place, or like a couple days, my one friend, who we'll just call Austin, had texted me, and he had asked me if I wanted to go to a party that he was throwing. And me being me and loving parties, like always, I agreed to go to Austin's party, and he essentially told me to bring anybody. And Austin was also a year older than me at this point in time, so he was in ninth grade. And in my mind, because of this, I was thinking that this was about to be like some big ass high school party. But anyway, fast forward to the day of the party. I'm hanging out with my one buddy who we'll just call Devin, and Austin texts me and he asked me if I want to come help set up before the party starts. And I was like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Devin right now. You're chill if he comes, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't really care. I'll just come meet you over at your dad's house because I lived with my dad at the time. And we can walk over to my house from there. And I was like, all right, bet. How long do you think you'll be? And he told me, like, I don't know, like probably 5 or 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, see you then. And after I got done talking to Austin on the phone, I kind of just walked over to my dad with Devin after that, started talking to him about what was happening because he had already known that I was going to be going to a party this night and he didn't care. I just needed to, like, tell him where I was about to go. And yeah, once again, he did not care. Like 5 or 10 minutes went by, Austin came. He had went up, talked to my dad, and the plans were pretty settled from there. Me, Austin, and Devin just kind of started walking over to Austin's house, and it took us like 5 or 10 minutes. We had gotten there, and Austin conveniently lived in like the same little area my mom lives in and where I live at currently. And we had walked into Austin's house. He was the only one home at the time. I don't remember what his mom was doing at this point. Just I know he had the house to himself. But anyway, the three of us kind of just started getting stuff out for the party. Like we got snacks out, bowls for snacks, and you know those like little paper medicine cups you would see at like the dentist or doctors. We got a bunch of those out because Austin had those for some reason, and then he pulled like this bottle out of the fridge, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was some sort of like vodka. I don't fucking know. I just know that it was really strong, but Austin pulled that out of the fridge and he's like, "All right, Riddick, start filling those cups with it." And then he pulls out this fucking thing of orange juice and he's like, "We're just gonna have this orange juice too, because there was shit mixed in with it, I guess." And he's like, "Here, try it." And I tried it and it tasted like absolute fucking shit. And that's what I told him. I said, "Austin, this tastes like shit." And then Devin walks over to us and he asks if he can have a sip of it. Austin agrees, so I hand him the orange juice mixture, and Devin starts like chugging that shit, and then he hands it back over to me. I'm looking at him. Keep in mind, Devin and I are the same age, and Devin looks at me, just no effect, no nothing. Like he couldn't taste the actual like piss he was drinking. And now I'm like looking over at Devin, wondering how he can even like handle this, because it tasted like ass, guys. I cannot like explain that enough. It tasted terrible, but anyway, yeah, we just continued setting up for the party, and eventually more people came in. It was just like three more girls, and we start talking to them. Like, we all start hanging out as a big ass group, and I take a shot of what I think is fucking vodka. And eventually, like, we start putting on movies. I think we watched Flushed Away or some shit like that. But, like, a little bit into the movie, one of the girls that we were hanging out with just, like, gets up, starts screaming and shit. I don't know about what, but this goes on for, like, just 10 minutes of her just screaming about like fucking nothing, and then she just books it out of the front door of the house and just starts running around like the outside, and literally everyone in the house, like I think the five other people, we all just start running around like chasing after her, trying to get her to go back into the house so like the cops don't get called or a scene doesn't get made and the neighbors start like questioning shit and texting his mom. But we had to have been chasing her for like 20-30 minutes ish, and don't think just because it was like in a trailer park that we just were bad at trying to catch her because of how small the properties are. Behind Austin's house there's just like a big ass field, and it's right next to a cornfield, so we had to deal with her running in that and just running in the big ass field. And eventually I start not feeling good like at all, and I just say fuck that to the search, and I walk back to Austin's house. I go inside, I just sit down on the couch, and eventually, sure enough, they had all gotten the girl who was just running around screaming back into the house. And thankfully, I don't think the neighbors noticed either that or they didn't care at all. And we all just start hanging out again, chilling. I'm still not feeling good at all, and I think Austin noticed that because he walked up to me. He's like, "Yo, Riddick, like, are you doing okay?" And I told him like, "No, because I really don't think my body was built to be taking a shot of whatever the hell and then running around outside because I was 13 and I was a bitch." But anyway, yeah, I just tell him that I'm not really feeling good. He asked me if I want to go like just lay in his bed for a little bit, see if that'll make me feel better, like get me away from all the people. I said, all right, like that would be nice, thank you. And he just takes me back to his room and I lay down in his bed. And after like just 10 minutes of me laying in Austin's bed with the lights off, I just start hearing like more yelling again. And this time it was the one girl who was yelling outside, who we'll just call Mary. She was running around the house trying to find me, I guess, because let me give you a little background. She's one of the only girls there I knew and I was friends with. And she, I guess, was just trying to find me and talk to me. Hopefully for not like any weird shit, but Austin was not letting anybody go back to the room like where I was at because he knew that I wasn't feeling good at all. And after a little bit of that, like it starts to quiet down a little bit. I'm starting to like relax, starting to fall asleep a little bit in Austin's bed, and then I just hear commotion start up again, and I hear like banging and shit, like running, just banging on the walls, shit like that. Mind you, I'm laying in the dark, so all I hear is banging and running, and it's just pitch black while I'm hearing all of this. And, like, because of the layout of Austin's house, there's, like, a bathroom right in front of his room. And so I heard somebody run into the bathroom, and I hear more people run into the bathroom. And I kid you not, all I fucking can hear from me just sitting in the dark is, "No, you can't shit in his sink." And immediately after hearing this, I shoot up out of the bed. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is happening right now? And I go up, I like open the door, I walk out of his room, and I just see Mary and her friends like walking away from the bathroom. Well, more or less, Mary's friends were dragging her away from the bathroom, and they were apologizing to Austin like a lot. And immediately after that, they proceeded to walk out of Austin's house. And after that, I walked up to Austin. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened while I was in your room? And Austin looks at me and he goes, dude, Mary is fucking crazy. She tried to shit in my sink. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that part after hearing somebody say not to shit in your sink, but like, why? And he's like, dude, I honestly have no fucking idea. She said that she had this shit, and then she just ran to go for the sink. And the toilet, keep in mind, is directly next to the sink in the bathroom because of how small trailers are. And he's like, thankfully, she didn't manage to shit in my sink, but yeah, she threatened to, and she definitely tried to, but we all got her out of there, and then they took her and left. And I was like, that's actually like foul and fucked. And after that, like 10, 15 minutes go by, me, Devin, and Austin, we were all just hanging out, and I ended up passing out just on Austin's couch, and that's pretty much where this story time ends. If you guys enjoyed today's story time, drop a like and comment some stories you guys would want to see in the future. And I'm going to be holding another poll on my community page about some stories for next week, so just stay tuned for that. And hopefully, if all goes well tomorrow, I will be streaming The Walking Dead Season 1 on YouTube and TikTok every other day like I did for FNAF Secret of the Mimic. And yeah, you guys should definitely subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next streamer video. Bye.